Hello everyone, how are you? I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Welcome to my channel, The Last of Us 24 and new video your favorite series, The Last of Us. With the UVJ and SAG-AFTRA strikes finally over, our favorite shows are racing to get back into development and production. This includes HBO's The Last of Us, for which co-creator and showrunner Craig Mazin managed to deliver the first script and an outline for the second season of the show before the UVJ strike began. Once the writer's strike was over, Mazin was able to get cracking on the rest of those Season 2 scripts, along with co-creator Neil Druckmann. Now that actors can go back to work, there's the matter of getting some key roles cast, including the role of Abby Anderson, Ellie's main antagonist for the rest of the Last of Us story. And there's already an exciting rumor about who may be up for that plum part. Who is in talks to play Abby in HBO's The Last of Us? As reported by Forbes, the big rumor is that Kaitlyn Dever, whom you probably know from the films Booksmart and No One Will Save You, is currently the frontrunner to play the coveted role of Abby in the HBO adaptation of The Last of Us. Mazin told the LA Times back in August that their choice for the role had already been made, but remained tight-lipped about the decision. Now, film critic and industry insider Jeff Sneeder has taken to his industry news blog, The Insneeder, to report that Craig Mazin told the LA Times that he had found an actress to play Abby Anderson in Season 2. To that end, I hear that Kaitlyn Dever is in talks to tackle the role. The words "in talks" are very important. While it may be true that Dever is Mazin, Druckmann, and HBO's first choice for the role of Abby, nothing is final until the money is promised and contracts are signed, according to Sneeder. However, with union actors finally able to get back to work, I'm sure Dever's agent has jumped into overdrive to seal a deal with HBO ASAP, if there is, indeed, a deal to be sealed. The show is supposed to start shooting in 2024 and will hopefully grace our screens in 2025. I know, Dever's not buff, so few * king what? I'm sure plenty of fans will balk at this casting choice the way they'd balk at every casting choice. I'll admit that I saw a world in which the role of Abby would provide an opportunity for an actor who doesn't have a standard Hollywood actress body type to have a role in a prestige TV drama. That said, having seen The Last of Us' brilliant first season, I have complete faith in this team's casting choices. In the LA Times interview, Mazin said the following about casting Melanie Lynskey in the role of Kathleen, the ruthless leader of the settlement in Kansas City. Mazin is making choices more based on character and theme than on physical looks. While the role of Kathleen was created for the show, you can see why casting someone who looks sweet as pie like Melanie Lynskey in a role like that might seem like casting against type. Then again, Lynskey plays a character capable of murder and cannibalism on Yellow Jackets, and started her career playing a teenager who murders her mother in Heavenly Creatures, so maybe casting her as Kathleen was typecasting, just of a certain not obviously murderous type. Anyway, remember how everyone balked at Pedro Pascal's casting as Joel, and even more so at Bella Ramsey's casting as Ellie? Now, everyone loves them in these roles, and they're both up for Emmys, so maybe shut up. Here's why the Dever being in talks rumor makes sense. There are a couple of things that Sneeder says that point to this rumor being true, in addition to what he's heard from insiders. Dever just gave a brilliant performance in Hulu's sci-fi/horror film, No One Will Save You. That performance added to her already impressive body of work, and portedly sold HBO on her acting chops as far as carrying an important role on a major flagship drama for their network. Then there's the fact that Dever was apparently up for the role of Ellie on The Last of Us before Ramsey landed the part, so she was already known to the team, Sneeder writes. And then there's the kind of superficial but still relevant detail that Mazin is following Dever on Instagram. He's only following about 71 people, mostly industry friends, and his talented songwriter daughter, Jessica, who did a heart-rending cover of Depeche Mode's Never Let Me Down Again for TLOU. So it makes sense that he's following Dever because there's a good chance they'll become colleagues. Why Dever would be an awesome choice if she does on X, formerly Twitter, says, I love Caitlin Dever as Abby in The Last of Us Season 2, even if she's not a hulking giant. If she's supposed to be a sort of mirror version of Ellie, Caitlin Dever is a great choice. She has the emotional heart needed to sell the character. That mirror version of Ellie thing is so important and so obvious when playing The Last of Us Part 2. Having a young actor who's as ferocious and intuitive a performer as Ramsey in the role of Abby is far more important than Abby's size being imposing. Regarding her size, however, Forbes writer Paul Tassi brings up the excellent point that while she does not have Abby's size, she, and everyone, is bigger than Bella Ramsey, who is a tiny person. Abby doesn't necessarily need to be built like an ox in the world of this show. In TLOU Part U, we watch Abby exhibit extraordinary strength against hordes of infected in all sorts of intense circumstances. The world of the HBO show, however, is much quieter, and for good reason. Infected have a different function in the television medium than they do in gameplay. With fewer infected present, and the more serious dangers coming from average people, it's entirely possible that if Dever works out enough to be believably WLF trained, it will be enough. Dever is a brilliant actor who could absolutely go head-to-head with the likes of Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey. If she is the TLOU team's first choice for the role, and she does sign on the dotted line to take on the role, I'd be jazzed. In Mazin, I trust.